Hello, hope you're well. My name's Keith. I'm a dad, and since around about April 2020, I've been paying child maintenance through the child maintenance service. And what a hassle that's been. Not because I've been paying it, but because the organisation and the way it works is so confusing. Staff don't know their own policies, their computer doesn't seem to work out things properly. There's a presumption in favour of the receiving parents, and it just doesn't work. It's a flawed system, and one of the flaws is about DEOs, a deduction from earnings orders. Okay, now DEOs are where the child maintenance service decides to enforce and pursue the paying parent who presumably isn't paying, and which is why they enforce it, by getting the money deducted from their wages each month. Now the trouble is these DEOs are being wrongly used. There are people who are paying who suddenly find that their earnings are being deducted. It's balmy. It's absolutely balmy, and it needs to stop. Okay, I get it. Sometimes it's a legitimate tool. It's a way of collecting money from people that aren't paying. But where people are paying, and then suddenly they're being told that they haven't paid, often because the ex has told a lie, it's wrong. And what is particularly wrong is the fact that they insist that you're on it for at least 12 months before they take you off of it. And that is wrong, because if you're paying £5,000 a year, suddenly, because you're on a DEO, you're paying £6,000 per year for no particular reason. Okay, that charge is just absolutely outrageous. It's wrong, it's criminal, and it is causing mental health issues, particularly for men. It's wrong. So today, let's talk about getting you off of those DEOs. So CMS policies, if you've been on a DEO for a year, you can request to come off. So why aren't you? Ring them up today. Let's make this a mission for you, okay? If you're on the DEO and you've been on it for more than 12 months, give them a call and ask them to remove you. Now, they will insist that for 6 months you pay by direct debit, okay? If you don't want to pay by direct debit, then that's the problem. That's, quite frankly, that's your problem. You might have to go along with that. I get it. It's wrong. But guess what? That's what you're going to have to do. So let's skip past that little hurdle, okay? Because we need to take you off of these DEOs. We need to get rid of them, all right? So if you are on the DEO, ring the child maintenance service today and ask to be taken off. And do you know what? Even if you've only just been put on one, ring them up and ask to be taken off, okay? And explain the reasons why. And if your ex has managed to get you on DEO because you haven't paid, or because she's alleged that you haven't paid, you need to tackle that head on. You need to tell the CMS every time your ex says that you haven't paid and you have paid, you need to report that as a crime, because it is a crime, okay? It's fraud. Section 2 of the Fraud Act, false misrepresentation. If you say, or if they say, you haven't paid them, and therefore you are put on a DEO and having to pay 20% more, okay, that in my book is also financial abuse, okay, under the Domestic Abuse Act. So take action. Ring the CMS today if you are on a DEO and ask to get taken off of it. And tell them you will keep on ringing them every week until they do, okay? Once they say, yes, we will take you off, we'll put you on direct debit, just do it, all right? Let's get you off of this DEO system as quickly as possible, okay? It may be that it's unfair, you shouldn't have been on it. Well, that's a case for another day. That's an argument you can have later, okay? But let's try and get you at least in the process whereby you are paying on direct debit for the 6 months, and then whatever else they need you to do, so that eventually they take you off a DEO, okay? And eventually you can save some money. So let's just do that. Let's get rid of DEOs, okay? Now, there's another thing I need to talk to you about. It's called a deductions from earnings request. This is for the armed forces, because the child maintenance service cannot instruct the armed forces to debit money from people's wages. Okay, so it's a slightly different. It has to go via the relevant respective service personnel centres, and what they will do is, if you're not on operations, they will normally say yes and start deducting the money from your wages. If you are on operations, then normally it will get refused, because obviously it's another big hassle, another stress for you. So yeah, that's just something to be. But again, if you are on a DER because you're in the armed forces, ring the CMS and ask them to take you off. It is effectively the same thing, probably slightly different paperwork, slightly different heading, but it's effectively the same thing. Okay, so just get on to that. Okay, and that's it. So that's all I have to say. Ring the CMS, get you off of these things as quickly as possible. Stop giving them money. Don't hang around. Don't be afraid to call them. Don't think that they won't do it. They will do it. You just have to ask them. But they will insist that you've been on collect and pay for at least 12 months. And of course they would do, because then they get a nice lump sum of money. Okay? And a typical person paying £5,000 a year ends up paying £6,000 a year on a DEO. And that's just mad. You know, how else, where else? Can you imagine if anywhere else imposed a penalty such as that? It would be criminal. Absolutely criminal. But anyway, let's move on from that. Get yourself off a DEO, ring the CMS today, get yourself off. Have a very nice day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. Don't forget you can contact us via the comments in this video below. We try and answer all questions, signpost you to the right place, and generally help you out. Obviously, we are there, or I am there. I'm doing this to help you guys out. And I do that because of my own experiences of the CMS, where the organisation was rubbish. For example, at one point my wife said, my ex-wife said, I had the children for 3 nights per week. I said 3 nights per week, and they decided it was 2 nights per week. How balmy is that? Anyway, like and subscribe. Have a very nice day. See you later. Goodbye. Cheers. Bye-bye.